Hey everyone, welcome you all. In this video we are going to discuss about while loop in Python programming. So until now we have discussed about different types of loops, that is for loop, if statement and else statement. So before that we have discussed about tuples, dictionaries and many more things like strings and what are the features of the Python. Basically we have discussed all those things in the introduction session. So continuing in our Python series, so today we will discuss while loop in Python. So the while loop executes the statements within it as long as the while condition is true. So it is as simple as that. As long as the condition specified for the while loop is true, it will keep on executing the statements which are written within the body of the while loop. So it is a very simple meaning it is having, and a while loop can be converted to a forever or a infinite loop with the help of a condition which will be always true. So let us take an example. So if you write while and in bracket, uh, let me just write like this, while true. So if you write like this, then it will become a infinite loop because it will be always true. So like this, if you want to make a infinite loop, so you want some code to be run again and again in your program, so for a lifetime of that code, so you can make it with the help of this while loop, so that is specifying the condition as true there. So we'll see later examples how to do those things. And the syntax which is followed for while loop will be, we will write while and in bracket, or without bracket also you can write, but I recommend you to write within the brackets because it will be easy for you to understand, and the one who is going to see your code will be able to understand what is happening. So it will be like a good practice or a good programming method of writing. So if you specify brackets, it is okay, and if you don't specify also, it will not throw an error. It is okay for the Python. Then you have to write the condition, that is in what conditions you want to execute this set of statements which are specified below. So you will specify those things, and don't forget to put these colons at the end, because it will be knowing by seeing the colons itself whether the while condition is ended or not. So as long as the while condition is true, it will execute this set of statements, and if that condition goes false, then it will go to the other set of statements that are specified here, that is other set of statements. And I have written a hash, means that is a comment here. So main program statement, so the other statements will be main program statements basically. So whatever we will be writing a main program, right? So this is how syntax of the while statement will be working. Now we will go to the next part, that is the contents of our today's session. So the contents which we are going to discuss in our today's session are, I will show you an example of printing a even number. Then we will look of how to use while loop with break statement, and we will see then how to use while with continue statement. Moving ahead, then we will see how to use while loop with the else statement. So that is the combination of while as well as else we will be seeing. Then at the fifth we will see example program on how to finding the sum of natural numbers. So you will be entering a natural number, let us say 10, 20, 100. Then we will be getting the sum of numbers up to whatever number we will be giving there. So we'll see those things, and we'll wind up the session at that moment. Alright, so now I am in the Python shell. So first we will see a even program, that is printing the even number. So how I can do that one? So let me just write a comment here. So I'm writing a program on printing the even numbers. So I'm writing this program. So first I will take an variable called I and initialize it to 0. So then within that I have to define a while loop. So I will put brackets and specify the condition that while I is less than or equal to 10, that means I want to print the even numbers which are up to 10. So then I will take a if statement to check whether the I is divisible by 2 or not. So I will write if I is divisible by 2. So I have to use modulus, then I divided by 2 is equal to 0. That means if the given number I is completely divisible by 2, then only print that. So I will write print I here. So it will basically print the even number. So if I divided by 2, so if I is an odd number, then the remainder will be something else, so it will not print that one and it will go for the next statement, that is here. So I have to increment the counter, so I will write I plus equal to 1, so which is equivalent to writing I equal to I plus 1. So you can write like this also, so both are having same meaning, so there is no need to worry. So I plus equal to 1 is the standard practice of writing, so that's why I have written that one. So that's all how I can write this one. Let me just save this one by pressing the Ctrl S, or you can save by going by clicking here. So as you can see, the shortcut for saving is Ctrl S. Then go to the run module and press F5. So now you can see the numbers which are displayed over here are 0, 2, 4, 6, 8 and 10. So these are all the even numbers which are coming in the range of 0 to 10. So that's all about printing the even numbers. And let me just change the program. So if I specify it like I will specify it as 1000, and I will again press Ctrl S, that is to save the program. Then I will run the module, that is run F5 module. So now you can see the numbers from 0 to 1000, that is all the even numbers are getting printed. So you can see here 982, 984, 986 up to 1000 has been printed. So like this you can print any number of even numbers with the help of this Python code. Alright, so that is about the first program, printing the even numbers. Let me just delete this one and write within this cell itself. So how to use with while statement with break statement. So I'm gonna show you using while statement with break here. So with break statement. So how I can use this one with the break statement. So for that also I will be using a variable, that is I, and I will initialize it to 1. Then I will take a while loop. So while loop, let me just write E here. Okay, so while loop I will take and take a condition that while I is less than 10, that is as long as I value is less than 10, what I'm gonna do is print I. So I'm gonna print this I, whatever whatever is the value of I will be printing. And in second condition, if I is equal to 9, so if I is equal to 9, then what I will do, so let me just write like this: if I is equal to 9, then break this one. So break means it will not print that particular statement which is specified in the if statement. So then I will increment the counter, because it is a while loop, don't forget to increment. So that's all. If you write like this, then it should omit the 9. So I will press Ctrl S, and as you can see I have taken variable I equal to 1. Then I am specifying a while condition saying that while I is less than 10, that is as long as I is less than 10, then print I. So print I. If I is equal to 9 by chance, then break that one, that is don't print this I equal to 9 and go to the next part, that is increment the counter. So I will run this module. Let us see what will happen. So as you can see, up to 9 it is printing, the 10 is not getting printed because it is breaking at this moment and going out of this loop, that is while loop. So like this you can write a break statement with the help of a while statement as well. So that's all about this one. And how to use with the continue statement also we will see. So let me just delete this one, and now we will see how to use while with continue statement. So how I can use with the help of continue statement. So for that also you have to take a variable called I, initialize it with 0, then specify the while condition saying that while I is less than 10. So for the sake of understanding, I am taking again and again 10. Okay, so that it will be familiar for us. So while I plus 1 equal to 1 means it will be incrementing this one. Then I will specify a if condition here saying that if I is equal to 5, that means if I value becomes 5, then at that moment I have to continue, means don't print this one. So continue I will write, and then I have to print the I. So I will write print I here. So at that moment I need to print the I. So if I write like this and save this one, again run this module, so now you can see it is printing up to 10, but it will be omitting 5. So as you can see, 1 2 3 4 it is printing, then it is leaving 5, and it is printing 6 7 8 9 10, because here I have specified if I is equal to 5, then go with the continue, means the flow will be flowing from continue to while again, and it will be not printing this particular number, that is I equal to 5, because I said continue means it will go to the while loop condition or checking the condition directly. So like this you can use a continue statement with the help of a while statement. So moving on further, we will see how to use the else statement with the while statement. So let me just write a comment using while statement with else statement. Okay, so how I can use while statement with the else statement. So for this one also I will take a variable called I, and I will initialize it to 1. Then I will take a while loop saying that while I is less than 10, that is as usual I will be taking while I is less than 10, then I will write a condition there. So what is I will just print this I. So I want to print this I, and let me just increment this counter, that is I plus equal to 1. So I have incremented this one. Then else part now I will write. So the else part should be written with the while part. So there you should not leave any space there. So I am writing at the end, that is else I have written. So in that else I will print. So let me just print I is no longer less than 10. So I is no longer less than 10. So what it will be doing is, first it will take a variable I equal to 1, then I'm trying to print the numbers up to 9, and when up to 10, and when the value of I becomes 10, then I have to print I value is no longer less than 10, so that it will be printing up to 9, and when it becomes 10 it will print I is no longer than 10. So where I will be printing these numbers continuously and checking this condition. So once this condition is not satisfied, then it will go to the else part saying that I is no longer 10. So I will just press Ctrl S and save this one, then go for the F5 module, that is run the module. So now you can see it is printing up to 9, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9, and when it becomes 10 it is saying that I is no longer less than 10. So it will be able to only print up to numbers up to less than 10 itself. So this is how you can use the while and else combination to check two conditions. So one is iterating condition and one is the break condition. So I will just delete this one, and I will come we have come up to our end of this session. That is the last program which we are going to see is program to find sum of natural numbers. So let me just write a comment here. So program to find sum of natural numbers. So this program we are going to see. So first I will take a user input. So to take user input I have to write like this. so I, and the input which will be given by the user will be the integer, so that's why I will mention it as int. Then I will write input, that is the Python shell will understand that the user is gonna give the input. So within that I have to write enter the natural number. I will write so natural number, so I will put a colon here so that it will be understood. Then now I have written a statement to take the input from user, so I will initialize sum equal to 0, then I will initialize a counter I equal to 1, then I will use a while statement here. So while I is less than, so that is I is less than the number which is entered by the user, so as long as you have to execute this while statement. So I will write sum is equal to sum plus let us say I, so that whatever the sum will whatever the number we will be having, so I will write like this, and I will increment the counter I plus equal to 1. Then at the end I have to print the value, that is the sum, so I will write print, so I will write the sum of the natural numbers is the sum of natural numbers is, so I have to put a comma here, so whatever there is mentioned in double quotes it will be like a string, so it will print as it is. And now I want to print the sum, so that's why I will put sum here so that it will print the sum. So now I will save. So let me just first explain you the program. So I am taking the input that is from user, so n equal to integer, and it is I am specifying it as input so that it will be given by the user as an input to the computer. So then I am writing enter the natural number, so it is an instruction to the user that you should enter a natural number here, and then once he will enter the number, it will take that number and it will store it into the n. And I have initialized two variables here, sum is equal to 0 is the first variable, I equal to 1 is the second variable. And then I will specify a while loop statement here saying that as long as the value of I is less than the number which is entered by the user, do the following things, that is sum equal to sum plus I. So keep on adding the sum with the present number, then increment the counter by I plus 1 equal to 1, then print at the end when all these conditions are over, then it will go to this statement saying that the sum of natural numbers, so it will be printed as it is, and I will specify within comma saying that I have to print the sum here. So I will just save this one, that is press Ctrl S and then run the F5 module. So as you can see it is asking for number, I will enter a number 10, then it will be giving me the sum of natural numbers up to 10 saying that it is a 45. And I will just modify the I will just run this program again, so oops, sorry. So then I will run this modify module again. Now I will enter 1000, so as you can see 49,900 is the sum. So like this you can give the number and you can get the sum of those natural numbers with the help of this Python code. So I hope you like this video. Thanks for watching.